Throughout its storied history, spanning over a century, Boeing has stood as a beacon of innovation and a steadfast guardian of safety in the aerospace industry. From the earliest days of aviation to the cutting-edge technologies of today, Boeing has consistently sought to connect people, protect nations, explore the unknown, and inspire generations across the globe. At the heart of Boeing's legacy is its unwavering commitment to innovation. The company has redefined air travel with iconic aircraft like the 707, which ushered in the jet age, and the legendary 747, the Queen of the Skies, which made long-haul flights accessible to millions. More recently, the 787 Dreamliner introduced groundbreaking advancements in fuel efficiency, passenger comfort, and sustainability, using lightweight composite materials that revolutionized aircraft design. Beyond commercial aviation, Boeing has been a pioneer in defense and space exploration, contributing to historic achievements like the Apollo moon landings, the International Space Station, and advanced satellite systems that power global communication and navigation. Yet, innovation alone does not define Boeing. Safety is the cornerstone of everything the company does. Every Boeing aircraft is a product of rigorous testing, from wind tunnels to flight simulations, ensuring it meets the highest standards of safety and reliability. Boeing's safety culture is built on a foundation of continuous improvement, learning from past experiences, and collaborating closely with regulators, airlines, and pilots to uphold the trust of the flying public. The company invests heavily in training its workforce, empowering engineers, technicians, and pilots to prioritize safety in every aspect of design, manufacturing, and maintenance. The journey has not been without its challenges. The 737 MAX incidents served as a stark reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and robust safety protocols. In response, Boeing has taken significant steps to strengthen its safety management systems, enhance oversight, and rebuild trust with its customers and the global aviation community.
Hey everyone, welcome to our presentation on Boeing's risk management. If you have flown in the past few decades, chances are you have traveled on a Boeing aircraft. Boeing is one of the giants of the aerospace industry, building everything from the commercial jets to military aircraft. But as big as Boeing is, the company faces major risks that can impact its safety, operations, and financial stability. Today we are going to talk about the key risks Boeing faces and how they tackle them head-on. Boeing has been shaping aviation since 1960, from the iconic 747 to cutting the edge 787 Dreamliner. Boeing has been revolutionized air travel, but along with all that success, there have been some big challenges, which is safety failures, production delays, cybersecurity threats, and even economic downturns. So, how does Boeing manage these risks? Let's dive in and find out. First, Sharvin and Farhan are going to walk us through the 5 key risks Boeing faces.
Alright, let's kick things off with aircraft safety, which is definitely one of Boeing's biggest challenges. A few years ago, we all saw the headlines about 737 MAX crashes. 2 fatal crashes led to the global grounding of the plane, and investigations revealed serious issues with the aircraft NCAS system, which was designed to prevent the plane from stalling but instead force it into a dive. The result? A $20 billion loss, lawsuits, and major hit to the Boeing's reputation. Since then, Boeing has taken action upgrading safety features, revamping pilot training, and redesigning the aircraft system. But even with these changes, there are still safety concerns in some of its models. Next up, supply chain distributions. Boeing's system supply can involve thousands of suppliers worldwide, so even a small delay can lead to a big problem. The COVID-19 pandemic made things worse. Factories shut down, and Boeing had to halt productions of the 787 Dreamliner and the 737 MAX. More recently, a key supplier, Spirit Aerosystem, had quality issues that delayed deliveries. To deal with this, Boeing is tightening suppliers' oversight, building up inventories of critical parts, and diversifying its supply chain to reduce risk. Now that we have covered safety and supply chain risk, let's move on to some other major risks that Boeing faces: cybersecurity, financial challenges, and regulatory compliance. Farhan, you got to cover on that.
Cybersecurity is a growing threat for Boeing as its aircraft systems become more digitally integrated. Imagine if a hacker were to steal classified military data, hacked into aircraft software, or even cause a system failure. In 2018, Boeing was hit with the WannaCry ransomware attack, which exposed vulnerabilities in its systems. Since then, Boeing has ramped up its effort investing in AI-driven security, encrypted communications, and regular cybersecurity training for their employees. But cyber threats are constantly evolving, so Boeing has to stay ahead of the curve. Let's talk about financial risk. Boeing has faced significant losses in recent years. The 737 MAX crisis alone wiped out over $20 billion, and when the pandemic hit, Boeing lost another $12 billion. But to recover, Boeing has focused on cutting costs, securing long-term defense contracts, and increasing production of profitable models like the 787 Dreamliner. These strategies are helping the company bounce back. Lastly, we can't forget the compliance. Boeing is under constant scrutiny from aviation regulators like the Federal Aviation Administration in the US and the European United Aviation Safety Agency in Europe. After the 737 MAX crisis, Boeing had to face stricter certification processes, fines, and delayed aircraft approvals. To stay compliant, Boeing has invested in internal audits, safety inspections, and better transparency with regulators. By doing this, they ensure their planes meet the highest safety standards. Now that we have covered the key risks Boeing faces, SHAACINI is going to walk us through how Boeing assesses and prioritizes the risks. It is all about figuring out which risks are the biggest threat to the company's survival.
Boeing doesn't just take a risk as they come, they have got a system to figure out which risks they need to focus on first. Using something called the risk matrix, this matrix ranks risk based on two things: how likely the risk is to happen and how devastating it would be if it did. For example, a high-risk threat like a plane crash or cyber attack is a top priority because it can cause serious financial loss and irreparable damage to Boeing's reputation. A medium-risk threat like a supply chain disruption might cause delays but doesn't necessarily put the company's survival at risk. And then there are low-risk threats like minor labor shortages which might not affect the company much at all. Once they identify the risks, Boeing develops strategies to deal with them. High-risk areas get the most attention and resources, like enhancing safety system or boosting cybersecurity. Low-risk areas, on the other hand, are still monitored, but they might not need as much immediate action. Now that we know how Boeing assesses risk, let's dive into the next step, understanding how Boeing prioritizes high impact versus low impact risk, as Hayat is going to explain the more detail. Thank you.
So now that we know how Boeing ranks risks, the next big question is which risks get the most attention? Well, some risks are huge, absolutely huge, and we are talking about life or death situations like aircraft safety and cybersecurity. So these are high impact risks because if something goes wrong, it could lead to fatalities, lawsuits, and billions in losses. So Boeing puts a lot of resources into minimizing these kind of risks. So the company is always working on improving safety features and tightening its cybersecurity to prevent these high-stake issues from spiraling out of control. On the other hand, there are low-impact risks, things like minor supply chain disruptions or short-term labor shortage. These might seem less important, but if left unchecked, they can escalate. A small delay in parts could cause much bigger problems like slowing down productions or missing delivery deadlines. Even though these risks are low priority, Boeing still keeps an eye on them to make sure that they do not become bigger problems or issues down the road. So the important thing here is balance, and while Boeing puts the most focus on high impact risks, they can't afford to ignore the low impact ones either. So by managing all these risks, big or small, Boeing can stay ahead of the curve and avoid net surprises. Now that we have seen how Boeing assesses or prioritizes risk, Enoch is going to walk us through how Boeing handles these challenges with some practical risk management strategies.
Let's start with safety. Boeing has introduced upgraded pilot training, redesigned aircraft systems, and more stringent maintenance procedures to improve overall safety. They have also made huge strides in cybersecurity, implementing AI-driven threat detection systems and encrypted communication channels to protect against cyber attacks. These measures are crucial in keeping Boeing ahead of evolving threats and making sure its planes are as safe as possible. So that's all for my part. Brand will be taking over the financial and regulatory risk management. Thank you.
On the financial side, Boeing is working on multiplying its revenue stream, like securing long-term defense contracts, and to ensure they stay compliant with global regulation, Boeing has boosted quality control process, ramp up internal audit to build stronger relationship with aviation regulator to ensure they meet safety and compliance standards. Okay, so for estimate cost risk of management, I pass to LENTHERN.
Next up here is the estimated cost of risk management, or in other words, the overall cost that needs for the risk management. The risk management at Boeing here requires a significant financial investment. The 737 MAX crisis alone cost the company over $20 billion. That also includes the aircraft redesigns and its legal fees for the 737 MAX. On top of that, the Boeing also allocates more than $1 million annually to cybersecurity. That also aims to protect its system from cyber attacks like the 2018 WannaCry ransomware attack. These costs may seem high, but they are necessary to protect Boeing's long-term stability. Additionally, the company invests heavily in safety programs. That also includes the pilot training upgrades, the maintenance improvements, and the safety audits. The risk management also involves mitigating supply chain disruptions, which requires the increased oversight and investment in diversifying its supply network. Let's move on to ALIF, who will wrap up with a summary and share some final thoughts on the Boeing's future direction. My part is done here.
So, hello, I will continue this part, which is the conclusion part from LENTHERN. Thank you, LENTHERN. So, first of all, to wrap up, Boeing approach to risk management is vital for its continued success. Despite facing major challenge, including safety issues, supply chain disruptions, and cybersecurity threats, the company is making strides to address them by focusing on the biggest risks such as safety and cybersecurity. Boeing is not only protecting its reputation, also ensuring its future growth. So, looking ahead, Boeing will continue to adapt, investing in new technologies and innovations to stay competitive. With effective risk management, Boeing is poised to meet the future of aviation head-on. Thanks for watching, and we hope we learned something new today. And that's all from me, Alif. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
From the skies above to the stars beyond, Boeing's journey is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring spirit of exploration.